Do you have landscape drainage problems on your property? Are you tired of the water that continually flows through your property, and are you looking for a way to deal with it? Well, then I have a great solution for you, and it's going to be with our custom designed dry creek beds. Now, a dry creek bed is absolutely essential when you have water that is moving through your yard and is trying to make it to a designated area. In this case, we have that water that is moving through the landscape and is trying to make itself down to this storm swell. And what we've done now is effectively given this customer a solution that's going to last a lifetime by simply being able to create the custom dry creek beds that we've become so much famous for. So let me take you through this so that you can see exactly what's happening on this landscape, and most importantly, understand how you can use this to solve your landscape problem. Now, as you can see throughout this entire dry creek bed, one of the most important features is that the water is going to now be able to go into a specific designated area without having the ability to go throughout the entire property. And that's what makes a dry creek bed effective, because it says that the water that was once moving throughout this entire landscape and essentially flooding this area is now going to be taken into this dry creek bed, where it's going to find the path of least resistance to easily fall off of this landscape. And you may be wondering, well, how do I know if I need a landscape drainage solution? Well, really quick, I'll tell you how. 1 second. So the way you're going to know if you need a landscape drainage solution is not going to be based on where the water is going, but mostly where the water is coming from. On this landscape, here's a great example. All of the water from the neighbor's yard is falling to the path of least resistance, and it's also being taken up throughout this entire landscape, falling down to the path where it would have originally wanted to go, which is into that storm drain. So essentially, all the water that comes off of this hillside, no matter where it's located on this customer's property and or the neighbor's, is essentially trying to make its way to this storm drain. And that's why we've created the dry creek bed. The design is most important because it's going to allow for me to be able to catch all the water that would have typically come in this area and be able to reposition it with the design of the dry creek bed that's now going to appropriate that water and take it to the back of the landscape. And so this is what we've been able to do so effectively for so many times over and over and over again. But it really comes down to understanding where that water is coming from. So in addition to that, of the water being able to come from the neighbor's yard, we have a tremendous amount of water that is coming from the backyard. That water being here based on the fact that the landscape itself finds its slope going to the path of least resistance. And so now all the water that comes off of that hillside is now moving down to the path of least resistance on this concreted area, and it's making its way to the storm drain, but not doing so effectively and or in an organized manner. But now with the dry creek bed, guys, we're going to be able to control that water, and we're going to be able to appropriate it into a designated location on the landscape. Now here's a quick look at the type of rock that we use. This is a river rock, literally comes out of the Chattahoochee River. And the reason why we like this type of rock is because of the sediment. The sediment that's inside of the rock allows for it to suck up a tremendous amount of water. And that's what we want anytime we get ready to do a drainage solution, is we want to make sure that the rock is wholesome enough to suck up a tremendous amount of water. And that's what you get with the decorative Tennessee stone river rock. It allows for you to be able to easily take that water that is coming through a specific area, and then it also appropriates that water by having that process of sucking it up while also directing it to the path of least resistance. And when you begin to deal with landscape drainage, it's necessary that you have multiple different ways in which you prepare to solve the landscape drainage problem. So as you can see, in another area where we're going to be focused on solving this customer's landscape is where the water is coming from the back of the property. Now you can see there on the hillside here, we're going to be bringing in some sod after we finish this initial project. We're going to be putting in some decorative gravel on the other side of the property. But right here, where most of the water is finding itself moving on the landscape, guys, we're going to be putting in this 57 aggregate. And the reason why we go with a 57 aggregate is because it's able to have that same type of sediment inside of the rock that allows you to be able to suck up water. And that's what makes us successful with our drainage solutions, is that we're not counting just on the design, but we're also counting on nature and the way that it maneuvers itself within the drainage solution. And so the decorative gravel that you're going to see go into this entire landscape right in this particular area is going to suck up a tremendous amount of water, while also encompassing an erosion control fabric, just to ensure that it doesn't lose any more of the soil that it has done so far. And so these are some of the ways that we're out here solving landscape drainage problems. If you're looking for an outdoor landscape drainage solution, you don't have to look far, folks. All you have to do is give the professionals right here at Brooks Landscaping a call. Simply click the link below. You'll be able to get your free quote. Check us out on YouTube by simply going to www.youtubelandscaping.com. That's www.youtubelandscaping.com. And you'll be able to see for yourself why we've become one of the highest rated landscaping companies, especially when it comes to solving your landscape drainage problem. And it's simply because we're focused on providing you with the quality that you deserve by identifying the areas on your landscape that need our expertise, and then giving you a solution that is guaranteed to last. And that's the best part about an outdoor landscape transformation, folks, is that you get a solution that you can live with for the rest of your life. And as you can see with this design that we got going on here, it absolutely is going to do just that. As you can see, those Tennessee River boulders are now going to be encompassed in this landscape design, and it's going to be able to provide the water an opportunity to move through those rocks, and then it's going to fall to the path of least resistance. And that's just what we do right here at Brooks Landscaping, landscape drainage solutions, where we give you an outdoor landscape experience that is guaranteed to last. So stay tuned as we get ready to wrap this project up. We've only been here a half a day. We only got about another day left, and we'll be done with this one.